Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Bob Dylan, and welcome to the. Hey guys, my name is Dr. Film, and yes, I'm qualified to have that name. For this video, I will be taking a look at one of the last movies of 2024, and that film is A Complete Unknown. Before we begin, you should know that this review will contain no spoilers. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe for reviews and more. And you should also know that I'm not quite familiar with the musician Bob Dylan, but I am familiar with some of his songs, so please don't hate me. And so, without further ado, let us begin. Pretty mama, I said pretty mama, let's begin. Right off the bat, the cast did a great job playing their respective roles. From Edward Norton, to Elle Fanning, to Monica Barbaro, to Boyd Holbrook, and last but certainly not least, Timothee Chalamet, playing as Bob Dylan. He pretty much carried this movie all the way through. He did such a good job transforming into this whole other person, completely disappearing into his role. It's freaking surreal. And in case you're wondering, yes, the cast members did all their singing in this movie.
Pretty woman, walking down the street, pretty woman.
What are you doing?
As for the music in this movie was well crafted. Every time one of these characters picks up their guitars, I didn't want their performance to end, man. That's how much I enjoyed the music in this movie.
How quickly can a human learn to play guitar?
Well, at first I was told I'd have 5 months, and I was really freaked out about that. But then the strikes happened, and so I had some more time to myself. I couldn't train with coaches.
Even though I'm not fully familiar with Bob Dylan's story, I thought this movie did a good job tackling the life story of Bob Dylan. This film did a good job telling a story about how this young musician who came from nowhere suddenly became famous. And it showed how all that fame and glory put this poor guy in a position where he has no control or freedom, where he's not allowed to choose whatever he wants to play next. But I have to admit, the story isn't exactly perfect. For one, the pacing can be quite muddy sometimes, especially how the film portrays the passage of time. At one point during the movie, it was taking place in 1961, but then a couple of scenes later, we're suddenly in 1965.
Great Scott.
Secondly, the story didn't exactly do a good job explaining why Bob Dylan's decision to switch from folk music to electric music was so controversial. I mean, they did showcase what was happening, but they didn't articulate why this was happening. What exactly was the big deal again?
I don't know.
And lastly, I felt like the runtime of this movie was too long. Maybe if they cut out some particular scenes from the movie, I think it would have been just fine.
What's that?
Shush. Overall, my friends, I'm glad I got the chance to watch this movie before we embark on this new year of 2025. Now, just to be clear, this movie isn't exactly perfect, but I do hope this movie gets the recognition it deserves. From the casting, the performances, the music, and the simplicity of the story, it all comes well together. So for those who haven't seen this movie, I recommend checking it out, and let me know what you think. So with all that said, I give A Complete Unknown an 8.5 out of 10.
Go away from my window, leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need.
How's that? Was that good? Huh? Come on, give me some pointers.
You're the worst.
Bye.